And you thought this guy was kidding? Turns out this kid was serious. 23-year-old Ron Meyer really is running for Congress pretty much on the Charles Payne platform. He's fed up with the mess in Washington and the debt the politicians are dumping on young folks' laps. So he's lapping to Washington and announcing it first here on Your World. Ron, you have an uphill battle, they say, running for Congress in a district that right now is held by a Democratic incumbent who barely won, but who many argue has gotten a strong lock on that. You disagree?
Oh, I totally disagree. I think that we have to take a fresh message to people, especially young Americans. Last election, the guy I'm running against won the youth vote overwhelmingly, and I think we have to take a new message to young people and, frankly, to the country. The reason why I'm running for Congress fundamentally is because Washington is kicking and punting all of the big problems on the debt and the entitlements to young Americans and future generations. And I think if they're going to do that, if they're going to punt all the problems to young Americans, it's time for a young American to lead now. And I think that if we take that message to this district, and frankly, if we take it even to federal workers and say, look at the debt, look at the projections, look at how fast the interest payments alone are growing, we're going to have to pay for this somehow. And if you want to keep your job as a federal worker, if you want to keep your pension, you have to get with us and help us balance the budget.
All right. We've called Congressman Connolly to come on, just fair and balance of this, but a lot of folks are supporting you, and former Congressman Tom Davis, a Republican, former Congressman Arthur Davis, of course, a Democrat who became a Republican. You're the only announced Republican in the race thus far, but I think you have to be 25 to be in Congress. So you argue you would be 25 by the time you hope, win and get sworn in, right?
Neil, unlike some of the folks in Washington, I actually enjoy reading the Constitution, and yes, I understand the age requirement. You have to be 25. I'll turn 25 September 28th before the election. And as you'll know, Joe Biden actually won at age 29 to be a senator, and so you actually only have to reach your legal age before you're sworn in, and I will be 25 before that time.
I don't know whether they were using Joe Biden as an example as advancing it was, but I do see what you're talking about. There's going to be a pile-on in this very heated race. There are a lot of folks interested in it. How will you differentiate yourself besides being the youngest?
Well, I think that we have to send someone to Washington who has a different sort of life experience, someone who understands that only 3 in 10 young Americans under 30% under 30 have full-time work, that only half of college graduates right now are even getting a chance at finding jobs. Half of them are underemployed, and they're getting $30,000 in debt when they leave college. So we have a great youth depression going on. We haven't seen these unemployment levels since the Great Depression, and no one in D.C. is talking about it. So I think we have to send someone with a unique set of skills, a unique set of life experiences that can actually articulate the problems in this country. We shouldn't just be focusing on gun control and immigration right now. We have an unemployment crisis, and what we have to do is use, Clinton-era spending policies, Reagan-era economic policies, get to a balanced budget, get young people back to work. When Reagan cut taxes, youth unemployment went from 18 to 10% over his term, and that's exactly what we need right now. We need those types of policies in D.C., and frankly, I don't think any other candidate is offering that, especially in this district.
We shall watch closely. Ron Meyer, thank you. Good seeing you again.
Thanks, Neil.
Ron Meyer.